What's up everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I got my water that I'm choking on and my chai tea. This is actually just a brewed chai latte instead of the regular chai latte because the regular chai at Starbucks, pro tip, very sugary, like all sugar. So I just do like the brewed tea bags with milk and water. It's really good. All right guys, just a little bit of a disclaimer. My tripod is broken, so I was doing a lot of maneuvering, but if we are just a little bit crooked, please bear with me. I've got you guys set up on like some books and this is the best I could do. So if we're just a little slanted, bear with me. But all right guys, if you clicked on this video, you probably guessed it by the title. I'm gonna be sitting down today and talking with you about 75 Hard and my experience. So today is April 4th. I finished 75 Hard. Today's April 5th. Today's April 5th. I finished 75 Hard on March 25th. So just over a week and a half ago. I'm bad at math. Just a little over a week ago. So I'm gonna share it with you guys. I'm gonna share my experience. There are lots of different videos on my channel while I was doing 75 Hard to kind of give you guys updates throughout the process. So if you're interested in those, definitely check them out. I did a lot of daily vlogs, what I eat in a day, and how my life kind of changed because of it. So if you want to see like more action and hands-on and in-depth of the day-to-day, definitely check those out. But today I'm just gonna sit down with you guys and talk about 75 Hard. So let's jump in. So first and foremost, I just wanna explain what 75 Hard is. I know that there is a lot of confusion out there and many different versions that people are putting out, but I want to explain to you guys what 75 Hard actually is. First and foremost, there is only one 75 Hard. So if you're seeing other versions, they are not 75 Hard. They are just some other challenge that somebody's doing. 75 Hard is 75 Hard only. And if the program that you see does not have any of the things I'm about to list, it is not 75 Hard. So 75 Hard is a mental toughness program. It is not a weight loss program. It's not a diet program. It's not a way to get a six-pack in 75 days. It is a mental toughness challenge. It is supposed to enhance your life. It's supposed to create discipline in your life. It is supposed to force you to get rid of your excuses. It really truly is a mentality program, not a physical program. So there are 5 tasks that you have to complete daily in order to move on to the next day. If you fail to complete a task, you are done and you have to start over from day one. Some people don't, but the point is to start over because you're trying to create that discipline. So the first task is you have to take a progress picture every day. This is to get uncomfortable. Progress pictures are uncomfortable no matter where you're at in your fitness journey. It's uncomfortable. Our body changes on a day-to-day basis more than you would think, especially as a woman. Your body changes a lot and you gotta get comfortable in the uncomfortable of taking a picture of yourself every single day, even if you don't want to. The next thing is you have to follow a diet. Now there's no specific diet that you have to follow, but you have to set a diet for yourself that correlates with your goals and your lifestyle. Along with that diet, there are no cheat meals, no alcohol, no junk food. So this is where the compromises come in a lot because people will be like, oh, well, I don't consider chocolate chips junk food, or I don't consider this junk food. Okay, well then it's really up to you what you consider junk food, but the more lenient you are, the less effective the program is. For me personally, I cut out a lot of things that I eat in my day-to-day life that I don't quote unquote consider junk food, but I do consider alternatives to junk food that are just making it easier on me. So I did cut out like light Cool Whip and sugar-free syrups. Like in my coffee, I like to have sugar-free vanilla. I cut that out. I have sugar-free pudding mix for dessert most nights. I cut that out. I cut out Halo Top. There are certain things that I just completely got rid of because I was using them as alternatives. So the diet really is find something that is going to suit your goals and then cut out all the compromises, and also no alcohol. Number 3, you have to do 2 45-minute workouts a day. One of them has to be outside and they have to be at least 3 hours apart. This is to make it tougher. This is because not every day is perfect. You have to do workouts in the elements, and I will get into that. And then the 3 hours apart is A, for rest and recovery, and B, because it's less convenient, which just makes it, more of a discipline thing. You got to learn how to manage your time. Number 4, you have to read 10 pages of a non-fiction book every single day. Personal development. This is where we get better. This is where we learn. 10 pages, it's not that much. I think I read like 5 or 6 books on 75 75 hard, and I loved every second of it. My favorite part for sure was the 10 pages. And then lastly, drink a gallon of water. And if you're going to come at me about a gallon of water being too much, I can promise you that it is not. I grew up with a kidney disease. I have a kidney condition. I have slight kidney issues, and I can promise you that drinking a gallon of water will not ruin your kidneys. Now, if you have a serious kidney disease and you're actually worried about it, consult your doctor, but a gallon of water, it's not too much, I promise you, and it's very capable. You're very capable of doing it. So those are the 5 tasks. Now let's kind of get into my journey. So I started 75 hard on January 10th, 2022. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was actually thinking about 75 hard way earlier than January 10th, and I was planning on starting it February 1st. I was waiting because my birthday is January 31st, and I didn't want to be on 75 hard for my birthday, but that defeats the purpose. So, I was thinking about it, and I was listening to Andy's podcast, and I was seeing all these amazing things, and it kept popping up in my mind. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I should do it. I could probably do it. Maybe I couldn't. It'd be kind of hard. Well, I should just wait till after my birthday. Like, all excuses, all my bitch voice controlling my life. And then January 9th, which was a Sunday, I was in the car with Ethan, and we were listening to a 75 hard podcast. Andy does the 75 hard verses podcast, where he brings on a person that completed it, and that really showcased exactly what the program represents and got a lot out of it and had a story to tell. I was listening to one of those in the car, and there was just a switch in my brain, and my inner voice, my inner boss voice was like, you're starting tomorrow. And I don't know about you guys, but that was not like a conscious thing. That wasn't me like deciding right there. That was like my inner voice saying that to me. And when that happens, I can't turn back. I cannot go back on my word to myself. I am very much a person where I have to keep my word to myself. If I tell myself I'm gonna do something, I have to do it. So right then and there, my inner voice was like, you're starting tomorrow. And I was like, well, I guess I'm starting tomorrow. Shoot. After I had bought all these groceries, and a lot of them did not coincide with the diet that I did. So we had just gone grocery shopping. I had all of these groceries that were not going to be in my diet, but something in my voice that day while listening to that podcast said, you have to start this tomorrow. Waiting completely defeats the purpose. You are letting excuses run you. You need to start tomorrow. And so I started the next day. I started Monday, January 10th, full blaze ahead, full speed ahead. I started, and I can tell you guys hands down, it was the best decision I've ever made for myself in my 22 years of life. Best thing I've ever done for myself. So the first couple weeks, let's start. The first week was challenging. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I felt very anxious because I was worried that I was going to miss a task, or I was gonna mess up, or I was going to like cheat on my diet without knowing. And before starting 75 hard, I would have told you that I was a very disciplined person, and other people would have told you that as well, which is what made this a little bit more challenging, because a lot of people in my life questioned why I was doing it. Oh, you're already disciplined, you're already in great shape, you already do so much, Grace, like you don't need this program. But deep down, I truly did need it more than I could even imagine. I was disciplined. I'm a full-time student. I work 2 jobs. I'm building a business. I'm graduating in the summer. I'm taking 18 credits. I have a relationship. I have a family. I'm disciplined. I get all that stuff done and I do it well, but I wasn't really growing. I was kind of stuck right here, and I wasn't growing, and I couldn't figure out why. Well, it was because I was comfortable, and I wasn't doing things to go out of my way to get uncomfortable. I wasn't doing things to grow. I was doing the same things every single day and wondering why I wasn't moving. And you guys, that is the definition of insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again every single day, expecting different results. I had to get out of that rut. So the first week was difficult. I was anxious. I didn't know if I was going to mess up. So I got the 75 hard app to help me to check everything off at the end of the day, make sure that I was hitting everything. The workouts, they're okay. I work out anyway every day. I think the diet was probably the hardest for me right away, especially because I wasn't really sure what I would consider junk food or not. So whenever I had a question, I just said no. Right away, I had questions. I had a question if popcorn was junk food and if light Cool Whip was junk food. I got a yes on popcorn and no on Cool Whip. I just cut them both out because I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna compromise. I'm cutting them both out. So if you're wondering what diet I followed a vegetarian diet, and I tracked my macros. So I didn't eat any meat. I did eat seafood, so you could say technically pescatarian, whatever the terms are. I don't really care. I didn't eat meat, and I tracked my macros. very strictly. I have tracked my macros for a while, but not as strict as I did for 75 hard because I really wanted to push myself. So that was the diet that I followed. For workouts, I did strength training for my indoor workout, and then I did walks for my outdoor workout. So starting off for the outdoor workouts, okay, it's January in winter of Wisconsin. I live in Wisconsin. It was the dead of winter, and I was doing 45-minute outdoor workouts. So I was a little bit limited at first because the sidewalks were always full of snow and ice. So I opted to walk for like probably the first quarter of 75 hard. My outdoor workouts were just me like speed walking the best that I could while slipping on ice and all that jazz. After that, I actually started skating outside. So if you don't know, I was a competitive figure skater growing up for about 12 years, and there is an outdoor rink in the park near my apartment. They actually kept it up all winter, which they don't normally do, and it's not covered or anything. So I would walk to the rink and then I would skate. I would do old like power classes, like conditioning stuff. I would just skate laps. I would do improv, and those were some of my favorite workouts. They're pretty difficult, and then I would walk back. So I did that for like a next maybe quarter, and then it started to get warmer out, and I decided I really wanted to push myself. I'm not a runner. I'm not a good runner. I never have been. I've never liked running. But I decided that, you know what, to finish off 75 hard, I'm really gonna push myself. So for like the last third, I've been saying quarters, these are like thirds. The last third of 75 hard, I started running, and I actually ended up really enjoying it. Yes, it was hard at times. Yes, I realized that the shoes that I was wearing were not good. So pro tip, if you're gonna run, if you're gonna start running, get good shoes, because I had major shin splints. My calves hurt all the time. My legs hurt all the time. My knees hurt all the time. So I finally got good shoes like right at the end, but I started running and I just took it slow. I did as far as I could, as long as I could, and then I would walk the rest of the way, and by the end I did like PR in running, if that's like the term you use for running. My very last run on 75 hard, which you can see on my last vlog, I did go way longer and way further than I ever have, so that was a really great feeling. But that's what I did for outdoor workouts. Now I will tell you guys, I worked out in the negative 30-degree weather. I worked out in a blizzard. I worked out in snow, ice, sleet, rain. I worked out in all of it. And you know what? It was freaking awesome. I was the only one out there. I will say the one day that sucked was the negative 30-degree weather. I woke up that morning, all of the schools had closed in the area. It was literally negative 30 degrees with wind chill. I went to work and all I could think about was, holy crap, I have to go outside and do a workout in this. Luckily, later in the day, it warmed up. Okay, you know what? It did not warm up. It got less cold. Let's say that. It did not warm up. It got less cold. We went from like negative 30 to like negative 20, but I just bundled up, went outside, and my eyelashes froze. That's never happened to me before. But it was definitely an experience. My face hurt afterwards, but I still got it done. I still did it, and I felt really freaking good afterwards. So I will tell you guys that you will meet all aspects of the weather in your outdoor workout, but it just makes it so much more rewarding when you're out there trucking away, working on your goals, and nobody else is out there. You know that you're the only person working, and you're getting way better than everybody else. And I'm competitive, and that made me feel good. So that's what I did for workouts. Trying to figure out the best way to kind of go through the journey. I know there were certain points that I wanted to like say to you guys, but I will say that there were a couple days / weekends along the journey, along the 75 days, that were more difficult than others. On day 22, I turned 22. It was my 22nd birthday. Valentine's Day, Ethan's birthday, and then we had a couple weekends away where we were in hotels, but still got it done. Honestly, my birthday was one of the better ones I've had. I still went out to eat with my friends. I got a delicious salmon. I didn't drink. I made myself a protein like mug cake, except in a bigger version. And yeah, it was just really good to feel as though I was taking care of myself better than I ever have going into my 22nd year. And I just thought that that was a great way to start a new year of life. So I will say that if you're worried about doing it on your birthday, don't be, because your birthday is about you. You don't have anybody else to please. You don't have anybody else to prove anything to. If you don't want to have cake on your birthday, don't. And I mean, I couldn't have cake, but you know what? I was okay with that. And so was everybody else in my life. So that one. And then, you know what, guys? The hardest freaking day, one of the hardest, was Valentine's Day. And I don't even really like Valentine's Day, but for some reason, I just wanted all the chocolate, and I don't usually want that. But like, I got to work and there was like brownies and chocolate, and everybody's talking about their Valentine's Day plans. And it was just hard for some reason, which was weird. But you know what? I got through it still. I stuck to my meals. when I got hungry, I just ate my next meal. That's just what you have to do. If you get hungry, you just eat your next meal and you move on. You have that craving, eat your next meal and move on. And that's what I did that day. But that day was so hard for some reason. I don't know why. When I got about halfway through is when I really started to realize what it was doing for me and the benefits that I was seeing, not just in how I felt, but in how everything around me started to get better. And that's when I really kicked it into gear. The first half, all I was worried about was just like finishing the tasks and making sure I didn't mess up. Like I was very anxious. And I was like, okay, I gotta work hard and finish these tasks and do them to the best of my ability. And that's what I did. But then halfway through, I really flipped a switch and just decided, you know what? I'm doing this anyway. I'm gonna do it to the best I could possibly do it. And I'm gonna go further than that. I'm gonna do everything I can to get the most out of this program. And that's what I did. I flipped a switch. And some people might call me crazy, and maybe it is. But I started getting up at 2:45 in the morning so that I could work out at 3 in the morning because I work at 5. I work at 5 and I wanted to get my workout done right away in the morning so that I had more time in the day to work on school and to work on my business and to get my outdoor workout done at a different time than when I was going. So I started getting up at 2:45, got to the gym at 3, hit my workout, and then I would do extra cardio on the treadmill while I read my book. Starting out, I would read my book in my car while I waited to go to work. And then I just decided, if I'm just gonna sit here and read, I might as well get some movement in. So I'd finish my workout and then I'd go walk on the treadmill and read my book, read my 10 pages. I'd get dressed at the gym, do my post-workout and head to work. And then after work, I would have time to do my outdoor workout whenever I wanted because I'd be 3 hours away from my workout already. And you know what? It was just a really, really good feeling. Was I tired sometimes? Yes, I was. But in all honesty, guys, if you manage your time, it is totally doable. And I'm not gonna lie, I loved working out that early in the morning. I really did. There's something about getting a workout in before the sun rises, before everybody else is up. And you know what? There were other people at the gym then too, so I'm not the only crazy one. But it felt so rewarding to know that I was pushing myself in that way. Like 3 months ago, I thought getting up at 4 in the morning for work was excessive, and now it's a breeze, and now I almost crave that early morning workout. So halfway through, I really started to push myself, and I started working out that early in the morning. I started running in my outdoor workouts. I started doing extra cardio while I read. And I can tell you that it really, really showed in how I excelled in the final half of the program. Everything in my life started to go like this. And it just all makes sense because I heard Andy say this on one of his podcasts, and it's when one area of your life starts to slack, when you start to become average in one area, you slowly start to become average in another area, but it also works in the opposite way. When one area of your life starts to grow and when you start to really be successful in that area, everything else sort of follows, I don't want to be great in one area. I want to be great in every area. And I kind of realized that halfway through. I was like, I'm doing well here, but I want to do well in everything. And I want to use this program to help me get there. And everything just started to go like this. And I was kind of just soaring through the final half, like on a high. I felt great mentally. My body was tired, but mentally I was like, this is the best thing ever. I did want to touch a little bit on the gallon of water and how I managed that. I will say for the first 2 weeks, I was peeing 3 times every night, getting up to go to the bathroom at least 3 times a night, but then I figured it out. I tried to have half a gallon done before noon, and this really wasn't that hard because I get up early anyway, but I carry my hydro jug around, which is half a gallon, so I just had to drink 2 of those. Every night before I went to bed, I made sure to fill it up so that in the morning I was ready to go. I'd drink half a gallon before noon, and then I would drink the other half before 4 o'clock. Because I go to bed a little bit earlier than most people, I needed to have it done before 4 o'clock so that I wasn't peeing all night long, because then I would be tired the next day. So that's what I did for water, and it worked really well for me. I carried a hydro jug around a half gallon because then you don't have to fill it up a million times a day. It was really easy to measure how much water I was drinking, and I was able to just get it done as fast as possible. So that's all I have on water. You're gonna pee a lot. And you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I guess that's everything that I really wanted to touch on in terms of the tasks, but I just wanted to talk to you guys about the process and like the journey and how I feel I changed and how it truly how it was the best thing that I've ever done for myself. And I know I said that earlier, but I can't express to you guys what it did for me, and it's hard to explain it in a way that makes sense, but I just jumped in. And I know people will say like, oh, when you jump in and you're not fully prepared, that's when you fail and that's when you let the excuses come in. But for me, when I started, it was just a shift in mindset to where this is just what we do now. This is what we do. This is what we're doing now. And you don't have a way out of it. I am a person who starts what she finishes. I'm stubborn as heck. I am stubborn as heck, and I was not going to fail. I have never quit anything in my life. I've never quit. I don't quit. I don't give up. So when I started, I knew that I was going to finish, and I knew that I was going to do whatever it took to finish, no matter what came up. So when I started, it was just that flip in the mindset of, this is just your life now. This is what you do. And then that's what I did. And I know that maybe doesn't exactly make sense to everybody, especially if you've never done the program, but all the excuses went away. They all went away. And yes, little compromises popped up in my head from time to time, like, oh, you can just have an extra spoonful of peanut butter, like you have a sweet tooth, just have that extra spoonful, or one pump of sugar-free syrup's not gonna hurt you, or I don't even know. There weren't compromises with like junk food because I was like, no, I'm not even going there. There were cravings, obviously, but it never came into my mind like, oh, you could just have one and not tell anybody, because I would feel so guilty, you guys. You have no idea. I am a very I hold guilt, not in a good way. So there's no way that I would be able to do that. But there were times where I was like, oh, just, you can just stop your workout now and stretch for the last 5 minutes, or just stop running now and you can walk the rest of this little stuff that came up here and there, but nothing to the point where excuses were still trying to creep in. When I started, they just disappeared. I just decided that day, I'm done with the excuses, and then I moved on and I took it day by day. That's what you have to do. You have to take it one day at a time. You can't look at the number. You can't think every day, oh my God, I'm 73 days away, or oh, I'm 50 days away, or I'm 20 days away. You can't think like that. You have to take it one day at a time, and you have to understand that with every task that you're doing, you are getting better. And that's a damn good feeling, I will tell you. Yeah, it's hard, and yeah, it's intimidating, and yeah, when you look at it, you're like, holy shit, I could never do that. I can promise you that you can do it. If there is one thing that I have learned from 75 Hard, it is that I am capable of anything I set my mind to, as long as I work my ass off for it. And you know what, guys? This was the turning point for that idea in my mind, because I didn't believe that I could do it. I really didn't. I didn't think that I would be mentally strong enough to do it. I am a person that has always preached balance. I always preach balance to you guys. I tell you guys to practice balance in your life. I practice balance in my life. But it was getting to the point where it was I was using that motto as an excuse to slack off in areas of my life where I did not want to be slacking off. In my diet, in my schoolwork, in my business. Oh, practice balance. Oh, take some rest. You need rest. Remember, balance is key. Or, you know what? It's okay to have that pizza tonight even though you had it yesterday, because balance is key. Okay, you can have pizza again because balance is key. You can have pizza again because balance is key. Constantly on repeat. And I didn't even realize it. I did not even realize it until I got to that point right before January 10th, where I was kind of stuck and I was freaking. You know what, guys? I'm gonna be completely vulnerable with you guys right now. Before I started 75 Hard, I was freaking out. I was really lost in my head, because I am graduating college. I am graduating college in June. My plans after graduating college do not involve a job that you go into. I'm gonna work for myself. I'm going to do my business. I'm going to run my business. That's my plan. Before I started 75 Hard, I wasn't even close to being able to do that. I was not even near making enough money in my business or growing enough to be able to fulfill that goal of mine, and I was freaking out. I had no idea what I was doing wrong. I didn't understand why I wasn't growing. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it. And I kept saying to myself, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. You can achieve anything you set your mind to. If you set your mind to it, it will come. Just be patient, visualize, meditate, practice affirmations, know that it's coming, trust the universe, all this stuff. All of that is true. It's all true, but it will not come true if you don't work hard for it, and that is where I was lacking. I thought I was working hard for it. I really did. I'm working hard, I'm believing, but I wasn't. And that's what 75 Hard did for me. 75 Hard showed me the hard work that I needed to do, and then it also instilled the belief that I needed. The other part of all that stuff I was doing before was, okay, Grace, if you just set your mind to it and you believe that you can do it, it'll happen. And that is true. But I didn't have that belief. I really didn't. And I thought I did. And I would have told you that I did. And I did tell people that I did. I was like, I believe I can do it. I believe I could do it. But I was lying to myself. Deep down, I did not believe that I could do something like 75 Hard. I did not believe that I could grow my business big enough to run it full time when I graduate. I did not believe that I could quit my job when I graduate and have enough money to make ends meet or to be financially free. I didn't believe it because I'd never seen it before. I am a visual person, and it's very hard for me to believe in things that I have not yet seen in my life, that I have not yet seen myself do in some way, shape, or form. So when I did 75 Hard and I completed it and I did it to the best of my ability, that instilled the belief inside of me that I needed to continue moving forward towards my goals. Completing 75 Hard showed me that I'm capable of anything I set my mind to, as long as I work my ass off for it. I set my mind to completing 75 Hard, I worked my ass off, and I completed it. And that showed me, hey, give yourself some grace, believe in yourself, you can do it. You just saw yourself do it, so now go after it with everything else. And on the journey, I started getting better in my business and in school and in my income. And those little pieces all along the way really started to show me, hey, you can actually do this. You can do this. Like, this is something that you are 100% capable of, and this is why. So that, honestly, guys, that's the biggest thing that I got out of 75 Hard is everything that I've ever preached to you. Obviously, I'm not lying. I've never been lying to you guys. Like, I've always believed in those ideas, but I never fully understood them in terms of my life and my goals because I didn't know if I was capable of doing those hard things. I've never done anything like this in my life. Nothing. So to just jump in and decide that I was going to do it and work my ass off and then complete it, that belief that I needed developed, and now it's there. And now I know that those goals that I have for when I graduate are reality. Like, those are reality now. Those aren't just goals. Those are what I'm turning my reality into. And that's what this brought me. This showed me that despite whatever life throws your way, despite the obstacles, the excuses, the compromises, the people that don't believe in you, despite all of that, if you want something bad enough, you will find a way to get there. And I wanted this bad enough. I wanted to do this for me, not for anybody else. I didn't want to do this for anyone else. Not to show off, not for clout, not to prove to anybody else that I could do it, to prove to myself that I could do it, and to prove to myself that the goals that I have, I can get there. To prove to myself that I could figure out a way to reach those goals and to make the life that I want for myself actually happen. I needed to do that for me so that I could be the person that I want to be. That's what this did. That's what this showed me. So if you guys are questioning it, I'm gonna say go for it. Honestly, don't question it. Don't think about it twice. Just do it. It has changed me in a way that I can't explain to you guys except to tell you that I am a completely different person now than I was however many days ago. I am stronger, I am wiser, I am more disciplined, I have literally no excuses. I am the person that I have always dreamed of being, and that's gonna make me choke up. I always looked up to the people that would do literally anything, whatever it took to reach their goals. And I always thought, man, like, I really wish I could do that. I don't really know how. I'm that person now. That's me. That's my reality. That's my life. The girl that I have been working towards for so long to become, I became her. And now I'm becoming a better version of her every single day because of the lessons that I learned in 75 Hard, because of the discipline that I developed, because of the belief that I instilled in myself. I am now making all of the goals that I had a reality, and I just could not be more grateful for this program, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. I would do it tomorrow. And that's really all I have to say, you guys. It doesn't matter if you don't have anyone backing you up. It doesn't matter if you have to do it alone. Do it. Do it for you. I can't tell you how many people questioned me and said things to me and put me down and didn't believe in me. I can't tell you how many people did that in my day-to-day. Oh, Grace, you're already so disciplined, you don't need it. Or that sounds really stupid. That's too excessive. You should just be having fun. You're young. All of those things were said to me almost daily. But I wasn't doing them for them. I wasn't doing it for them. I was doing it for me. That's what you have to do. If you truly want to get better in your life, if you truly want to reach the goals that you have, if you truly want to become the person that you've always worked to become, that you've always dreamt of becoming, do it. Do 75 Hard and do it to the best of your ability. Do it better than anybody else before. Strive to be the absolute best. Strive to be the number one 75 Hard completion, or just do it with full intent to become everything that you've ever wanted to become, because I promise you that if you do the program and if you do it right, every single piece of your life will go like this. I promise you. That's what it did for me, and I could not say anything less about it. That's it. That's what it did. So guys, if you have any questions about 75 Hard, please let me know. Also, listen to Andy's podcast, Real AF, on Spotify. I think it's also on Apple Podcasts. It's a really great place to start. It's a really great place to learn about 75 Hard. I believe it's episode 208, somewhere around there, 208 or 205. He goes into the depths of what 75 Hard is and what you have to do to complete it. I would highly recommend listening to that. I would highly recommend getting his book on 75 Hard. And like I said, if you have any questions at all, please let me know. But if you are even considering it in the slightest, I'm telling you right here and now, start. Whatever day it is today that you're watching it, whatever time it is, no matter where you are, if you are wondering if you should do it, and start tomorrow. Don't sit on it. Don't let the excuses start to flow. Don't, oh, well, I have this weekend here and like a wedding here and like this. Don't do that. Start tomorrow, and I promise you, none of those things will matter. You will do it. You will get through it. And I promise that if you work hard, everything in your life is going to start to come together like this. So that's what I have to say today about 75 Hard. I just want to say thank you to you guys for following along and for everyone that supported me through it. And I want to say thank you to Andy for creating it. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. You guys should do it, and if you do, let me know, and I will be there to support you along the way. And who knows, maybe I'll even do it with you. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you being here, and I appreciate your support every single day on every single video. I know who you are and I appreciate you guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.